going on, everybody? This is Quinton Thomas, and you're tuning in to my episode of the Martini Take, starting right now. Let's get it.
Welcome, man. Took a few minutes to get set up. Sorry about that for the wait this morning.
Good,
it's a
bro.
lot of things to get in order for one person. Hold on, I'm even gonna make a quick adjustment that I missed on the light.
Oh, gravy. Have a dope house too, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, how you been? It's been a while since we've gotten to hang out and chat.
Facts.
I think it's
chilling.
been a long time since we've been on set together.
We worked on that. It was a short film. Creed was directing. No, he was DP. You was gaffing. I was key grip. Can't remember the homie's name. That we had.
What was it about? Because I can't even recall which project we're talking about.
It was in one location at a house. It was like 2 days. I can't remember.
A house.
Yeah, it was a house. We had what's the homie's name? Mitch. Mitch was a cam op. He's like a DIT, but he's a DP though first.
Yeah. I remember the project.
I worked with him again recently.
It was written and directed by Miles, right?
Yeah.
I remember now. Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think that was.
Or
last
it feels
year.
like it. It
probably
feels
the
like
beginning of last year.
It feels many projects ago. I guess. Man, I forgot about that one. I don't think I ever saw the final product of that, if it's finished yet.
Yeah, me either.
I've definitely shot things prior to that still aren't done, so I would believe if it's still in post.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, for sure, it happens. But how you been?
I've been all right, man. Chilling.
Yeah. Thanks again, man, for real, for coming through. I can tell you've had a lot on your plate recently. Looks like you've been busy. Looks like you've landed some cool sponsors, or at least some cool associations.
Oh yeah.
Are they sponsors?
Nah, it's more like a what is the word they like to use?
Partnership?
Yeah, it's like a partnership.
Yeah.
So working on one right now with Aperture.
Mm-hmm.
Where actually shout out to Decon. You know Decon, right? Yeah, Decon.
Well, I don't know Decon, but I know of Decon.
Oh yeah, Decon's that
guy.
I
would love to meet him one day. I'd love to have him on the podcast one day.
Yeah, I'll hit him up for you. For
yeah,
sure.
that would be dope.
I'm sure he'll do it. But yeah, so like that Citus 4 that came out, and I was just talking about the Citus 1 and how I feel like they're going into like their right direction of, if you're in electric, or you should probably know a little bit of data.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool that they started to dabble into that world, because I just did too, like maybe a couple years ago. And then they dropped that Citus 4. I was like, dang, this is crazy. They got 4 wireless universes, 4 wired. That's wild. And then I was already kind of cool with Decom, and he said I could borrow it. And then from that, he's getting ready to do it.
He's getting ready to make his play for the top of the couch.
That's too funny.
Hey, can we just hang out here for a little bit?
It's from that. He had to ask somebody, if I could, use it or whatever, so I can do some videos. And it was like, yeah, but just in the midst of that, they saw my stuff, and then we've been cool ever since.
Who? I know I'm active on Gaffer Salon, and I know that Mitch. I want to say Gross. Is that his last name?
Mitch Gross.
Yeah, Mitch Gross is pretty active on there. Is that the contact that you originally had made, or?
I actually met Mitch too at Cine Gear.
Yeah.
But his name is Tony.
Okay.
In LA. He a gaffer too.
Okay.
He's dope. He's super dope, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can link y'all up somehow.
Okay. He lives out in LA, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's working on, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you what he's working on, but
sure.
He probably doesn't care. But either way, I'm gonna be safe and not say it, but it's some real shit. Are we allowed to go?
Yeah.
Okay. It's some real
for sure.
stuff. But yeah, him, he's been like the person that's hooked me up, and they sent me a Citus 4, to have as my own. And then
that's awesome.
So shout out to them for that.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
I always use it. I love it. I love using the Citus 4. It's my old kit. It was Aurora. I still use it, but it's Aurora. And then that's my first universe. Second universe is the satellite, and that's what I used on that movie that we did last year. So it's cool to have like all that in one. and I could just carry it around.
Yeah, I remember getting to play with that on that gig. You were kind of uh, like guiding me through a,
Hmm.
a crash course on it because we were on set.
Yeah,
But it was cool, man. Very very intuitive.
thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I like
uses
working with
blackout.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's dope, man. But yeah, light and control, bro. Something that I'm also, in addition to gaffing, I kind of like equally. So,
yeah. I'm gonna have to get with you and do some one on one
oh, I got you, bro.
and just get more acquainted. It's one of those things that in my DP world, I don't think I really need to know it,
Facts.
but in my film career, it would be a quintessential tool to have in my kit,
Right.
to be able to say that I can operate blackout and know how it works and troubleshoot and all those types of things.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
No,
That's what I would say.
it can't hurt at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. So I'm definitely gonna link with you to get some more hands on with that.
for sure.
Yeah, but what else you got going on? What you been working on?
I was gonna say too. I met Nick from Rat Pack, um, lighting control situation. So they had sent me some slingshots, which dang, I don't have. It's on set right now, but it's like a kit of two of them, and it's a wireless like transceiver, but it's a one channel dimmer too. So like you can dim like incandescent bulbs, of course, to like 1% to where it's just like barely on with no flicker. But you can also do LED bulbs too, which I thought
Wow.
was impossible.
Yeah.
So you just switch it to LED and you can just, dim those too.
Wow. That's actually really dope.
Yeah, it's fire. So
What do those run?
so that kit with two of them is like 3 grand, I think.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Okay.
yeah. But
Little penny, but that's a really cool
yeah, it's dope.
yeah,
He said they
yeah.
use them on Stranger Things, so they got like a bunch of
It sounds like one of those
practicals.
things that if you know you need it, you need it.
Yeah, cause like well, I'm on a show right now, and I've been trying to find every excuse to use them, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna go out and buy some 200-watt incandescent bulbs. So we threw them in like these lamps, and I got two of the dimmers. It only goes up to 200 watts as well. So it's like, man, like the glow of that light bulb is different than if you have like a LED one, like if you're using like a Nix bulb or like a
Mhm.
B7C,
Mhm.
which are also fire, but it's just it looks different. Like you can
Mhm.
see like the what's it called, the scallop, I think, on the wall, like the little U shape. It just looks, and then how warm it is, it just looks dope. I think it's
Yeah.
like 2,700 Kelvin. I think
Yeah.
it just looks good. So we've been using that the entire movie.
Yeah. I love tungsten bulbs and lamps. The only
Yeah,
caveat to these new cameras is that it's gotten harder and harder to use them without some extensive form of dimming
yeah,
that doesn't flicker,
exactly.
because the cameras are just so sensitive and they see so much more now.
Hmm.
But the older guys that shot on film and would be able to just keep an array or an assortment of
Hmm.
different incandescent wattage bulbs in their trucks. I think that was really cool.
Yeah,
We missed that time, or at least I missed that time.
yeah, I do too.
Um, but I've talked to some of the older guys that used to just have crates of bulbs on the truck.
Yeah.
I think that shit is dope.
So hey, maybe Rat Pack bringing it back, man.
Yeah, maybe
So yeah,
so.
but if you need
Uh,
to use it, just let me know.
the
I'll just use
caveat
it.
is that a lot less manufacturers are even making incandescent bulbs now.
Facts. I
So
seen
I was
that.
gonna ask, how did you find your bulbs? Where'd you get them
Amazon.
from? Okay, because I've literally been in Walmart on the morning of a shoot trying to
Hmm.
grab some bulbs for some practicals,
Yeah.
and no incandescent bulbs exist at
Home
Walmart.
Depot still got them. I just got some last week.
That would make
So
sense.
they got
Okay.
some freaking what is it called? Like halogen bulbs there. So those are incandescent, but those
Yeah.
are like higher wattage. And you
Yeah.
can get like the freaking metal halide. Like they got that there too.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to check out Home Depot then. I didn't even think to do that run.
Yeah.
Walmart had me scratching my head, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, what projects you got going on? Anything
Uh
new right now, current or coming up in the pipeline?
yeah, I'm on a show right now. Well, it's a movie. Yeah, I'm gaffing a movie. It's a Lifetime movie.
Nice. That's what's up.
Um, with my bad. I don't know if I could. I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Yeah, no, sure. I think
It's a
Lifetime movie is enough, but
yeah.
you know, however
It got
much
like
more you
a
feel.
dope actor or actress in there.
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, I'm gaffing that. The package that we have, talk about that. Um, everything we got like pushing from the outside. I got a Nanlux 2400B.
Nice.
Um, that joint is dope.
Yeah. Have you worked with the aperture? Um,
That's my other one. So I got an XT26 too.
I was gonna ask what are your thoughts on the two? How do they compare for you?
So I can show you a picture too. I'll send it to you. But we had a scene where we had to light this overpass. You ever been to Ambient Studios?
That sounds really familiar.
It's on
I
the
think
west
I have.
side.
Yeah, I think I have.
They got an overpass though, and I don't know how many. Let's say it's like 200 feet. We had the XT26 on a Mambo, took it up, and they just all they wanted was these long shadows of the pillars or whatever, and then have like these different zones of light, and we was able to do that with just that one like XT26. I was like, that's crazy.
Do
I
you
mean, it's
know?
nighttime too, but like I did a video too, but like what was it like it was still like a 5.6, like the T stop 5.6, 800 ISO. I was maybe like 80 feet away or something.
Sure. Yeah, that's
So
dope.
yeah, so
And that was cranked at 100.
yeah, it
Okay.
was 100, and then Tony he hooked that up. So Lux Atlanta, they that rental house, they gave it to me as a demo, so they saved us a lot of money.
Dope.
So it was like cool, we got that, and then we had the Nan Lux, but they're both pretty good.
Yeah.
But I would say the XC26, it got like a slight edge, and they gave us the Fresnel, the motorized Fresnel too. So like it got an edge. But I mean they're both dope though. They got green magenta tint on both of them.
How fast is that motorized for now?
I don't know. I mean it's pretty cool because the Nanlix got one too.
Like it's not slow enough that you think about it at all, is it?
Nah,
That's dope.
nah, it's not. But they both have motorized Fresnels.
Yeah.
I don't have it on this show for the Nanlux, but that one I don't know. That one's pretty cool too. And then
Yeah.
you can control all that via DMX too.
They're both doing really cool things. I have a mixture of some nan light and some aperture.
Yeah.
And originally I was pro aperture between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Nan light felt cheaper in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
physically felt cheaper and appeared cheaper to me, like the way the units were made and how they were designed.
Right.
But every single new nan light that comes out, like literally makes me put my foot in my mouth forever saying that. So
Yeah.
they've come so far, and
They
now
have.
they're so neck and neck and compete. The prices are so competitive from nan light, trying to,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if they're trying to, if they have, they're trying to surpass aperture, I guess, in the market who sells more units perhaps,
Yeah.
but man, I'm enjoying the consumer side of that race for sure.
You can't lose, man.
Right now, so coming through our window behind us, this is not the sun, this is a Nanlite 300B
Oh, nice.
with just their stock cone reflector on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're at like 70% on
Nice.
that guy right now. Um, I think I got that light for $240.
Can't beat that. Can't beat that,
Not with
bro.
the 10-foot pole. You can't beat
Right.
that. Like 240
Eye color.
bucks. And so above us, cross keying us, we have 260Bs, the Nan lights, which are the
Nice.
same light class, I guess, as the
Mm-hmm.
300B. They're both
Right.
the studio versions, so they're the
Mm-hmm.
cheaper versions that don't support DMX, unfortunately.
Yeah. It is what it is.
But for what I needed and what I use them for,
Yeah.
simple interviews, small stuff like this, really small indie, stuff where I'm having to bring a camera and a lighting package.
Yeah.
You can't beat the price, man. It's so crazy because these guys were at the time of me buying them 140.
Nice. Hey, can't beat it.
That what is that? Just over $500 for three
For really
lights,
like a 3-point lighting.
and that 300 be smacks intensity wise. I mean,
Yeah.
I was so blown away by the output because
Hmm.
I hear 300, and I've worked with the 300X from
Yeah.
Aperture, and my experience with the 300X was with the original. I think they have two versions now. I
Do
could be
they?
wrong.
They have a 300C.
I know they have the 300C, but I thought there might have been a 300X too. Maybe there's not.
I don't think so.
So when I worked with the 300X, it's cool. It's not that bright.
Right.
You know, being that it's bicolor, it doesn't quite get what I guess a 300D would get for output. It's a little
Hmm.
less, and I was expecting that. And I'd have been happy with that for the $240. I'd have still been ecstatic about the output I was anticipating. But when I unboxed this guy and turned it on, I was like, okay, this is actually a light I can put outside of a window.
Yeah.
And I did not expect a 300 to be something that I would want to put outside of a window.
Yeah.
So that was impressive to me. For 240 to be able to replicate a sunset
Right.
outside, or sunrise or moonlight or whatever you're trying to do, I was like, damn.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
super
super dope.
dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like too, another thing too that I learned um with the two lights. This is something that I learned while I was on another show earlier this year. Um, and I was actually I was a third on that, but I was kind of also the board out. But I was controlling the 2400B, but I was using ETC, which is just another software or whatever, and they didn't have the patch for the 2400B, so I was like, cool, I'll just use the 1200. But the 1200 doesn't have green magenta. So like I can't remember what we was doing. We had to take it up on a long john, and then Gaffer was like, "Yo, uh, DP want to throw some green in there." I was like, "Cool." I went there. There was no green, so I had to
Yo,
switch that joint out, the profile.
just for the sake of asking, and I love your brain as a gaffer, so I want
Thanks.
to know, what do you think about the setup here? Would you do anything different, or
Nah, cause I like how just like with this, you don't. I mean, you're getting like you said earlier, you're getting a backlight with this. But even if like you still wouldn't even need to get the backlight if you want to, you can just glow these up right here, which is always gonna look great. Same with this. That's gonna have obviously more punch than this because that's gonna be softer. Then you're just wrapping that light right there. So to me, and you can see the windows, and you a DP, so you already know how to light. But like, yeah, I like how you wrapped it, and then cross keying right here. It's dope. It's super dope, bro. You know what I
word?
mean? Nan
Appreciate
Lux,
it. It's
Nan Light,
changed.
and Nan Lux.
Yeah.
You need to fuck with him, man.
Yeah, it's changed up a little bit each time. And even now, like I had the boob light set up,
Yeah,
but you came with the shades,
yeah,
so we
always.
don't need the boob light near the camera right now. Yeah, it's been interesting, trying to find a way to create a really consistent look in here throughout
Hmm.
any time of day, whether I have someone come over at night after sun's gone down or they come
Yeah.
over first thing. Because I have a north facing window right here,
Hmm.
the sun literally arcs throughout the day,
Right.
which is great, but
You need the straight
from the
ambient.
shooting standpoint, it changes over a time period.
Yeah.
Even how we start, I'm willing to bet if I pulled frame one from when I started these cameras to the end of this episode, I'm willing to bet the ambient in here is going to have moved up and down as that sun has kind of done different things on this side.
Yeah.
But it's a cool battle to have.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It looks good.
It's fun to play, and then also be in control of the coloring and the edit of it,
Exactly.
and not have any pressure at all attached to it. Like I am the client.
Yeah. I'm all for keeping things simple, man.
Simple, yeah,
That's the best way.
yeah,
That's the best way you can be efficient, man. Keep it simple.
yeah,
Because you can jump on Instagram and you can see these crazy setups, which need to happen. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. But like, sometimes I feel like people are watching these professionals that know what they're doing, and then like, oh, okay, I feel like I have to do that. I feel like I gotta have like a light bridge CRLS um bounce. Like I need to stick that up, and then I need to go point the light at that, and then bounce the light off of that, and then go through X amount of different diffusions to get this certain look. And it's like that's what they needed to do, but like I feel like people think that they need to do that too, and you got the money to do that. And what's another more efficient way of doing that for the budget that you got? You know what I mean? So I'm all for keeping it simple as possible.
Yeah, so I think it's cool what you brought up. So the point you brought up, I have had this conversation with folks who have recommended for content that I show the setup of
Mm-hmm.
the stuff we shoot. And no part of me is selfish about wanting to show how we gotta look. But the reason no part of me is selfish to show is because I know that every single piece of modifier, diffusion, cider, bottomer, topper, everything that becomes a factor in the image
Mm-hmm.
is unique to that one situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to, like you just were saying, show things too complicated and folks who don't understand just start copying and pasting when
Yeah.
that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you may be putting up 3 pieces of diffusion and they don't even matter to what you're doing, but you saw another setup do it with
Mm-hmm.
another camera, with another lensing, you know what I mean, in another
Exactly.
environment.
Yeah.
And it's just not really copy and paste.
Right.
So I have sort of like a love hate with the behind the scenes versus the shot. You know, I
Yeah.
love seeing them and I love showing them, but only because I know how unique that is to that specific shot.
Yeah. Then too, even if you do the BTS, and I agree with you, but you could also just tell them why you're doing this too.
Sure, yeah, I love that
So
more.
yeah. So that's what I try to do too. It's like, all right, cool. Like we're about to break down literally the easiest setups ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it still looks good. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
so
So
we're talking about a Netflix show
oh yeah.
today. That's what we're going to dive into for you. We're going to be breaking down and going into how you lit Eminem's interviews on Rhythm and Flow season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout outs to you, man, for
Thanks.
that because that's a dope accomplishment for real.
I appreciate that, bro.
That's, I think on anybody who hasn't checked that off the list, that's on my to-do list and on my wish list is to shoot a Netflix or work on a Netflix product.
Yeah.
It's cool to
Same here.
it's cool to be a part of pop culture in a way, in that
Yeah.
sense, you know what I'm saying? Being a part of leaving behind something that folks will have to go back to.
Facts.
I almost feel like no matter what we're working on, we're almost historians.
Right.
Like
We
we
are,
are
because we're part of
capturing a
something.
moment in time
Yep.
that can forever be brought back to, depending on how authentic it is, varies.
Yeah. I mean, but still, in your mind, though, you still did. Even if, okay, like, you can, I'm sure you'll work on some Netflix stuff, but like, you still done some dope stuff.
Yeah,
And inside of your mind, you're still successful
yeah.
with that, and you come from Virginia, right? Where they're
hmm
not really doing this stuff.
No, not at all. Hadn't
So,
I couldn't even have pictured in 11th grade that this is what I would have been doing. And I
exactly.
had photography and videography as a passion at that time, and I
Hmm.
still couldn't have imagined.
Exactly. So, I come from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and they don't have this either. So, it's like, that I wouldn't imagine it either.
Yeah,
So, but that within itself is a blessing.
yeah.
But like as far as like that show, um, so the vast majority of that show, I was a best boy on that show.
hmm
So shout out to my dude Panda. Um, he brought me in,
Panda
and
was Gaffer.
yeah, he was a
Okay.
gaffer for all the ENG stuff, electric news and gathering. And so all the reality stuff, all those interviews and stuff like that, we did all those. We
Yeah,
did all those.
break that down a little bit for the folks that don't know the separation and the difference,
Oh yeah, I got you.
because it's such a huge project
Yeah,
that has a lot of different moving parts. I would assume happening almost simultaneously.
yeah, it was crazy. So that was probably, yeah, that's probably the biggest show I've ever been on. Now that I think about it, because not only did they have like the actual production, so if you watch the show, you know, you got all these contestants. They get up there and they got like a whole performance with the lights. They had a dimmer op. Her name was Tiffany. Cold, bro. Goated.
The shot is, I mean, the show
Yeah,
is, it's a great looking show,
yeah, it looks dope. And then so she
especially for
was
a live.
yeah,
It doesn't premiere live, but for
yeah,
being a live taped show, it looks great.
facts, bro. But like, yeah, she was the dimmer op, and then Dave was the LD. So Dave, the lighting director, you know, him teaming up with the gaffer who was Chris, um, they came together and designed what it's gonna look like as far as the lighting. Dimmer op, Tiffany again. Um, she was very confident. Like I'm like to have that amount of lights, and be controlling them. She was like, "Yeah, this is cool." And then she was using MA. They was using MA3. They had two of them. One of them was a backup, so they had the full MA3, the full joint, like the most expensive one. Um, I don't know how many monitors that has, like 6 or something. I can't remember. Sorry,
Nah, you good?
but yeah, she's doing that, and then she's using. I think she told me that was like the first time she was not the first time, but the first show she used MA3, like the software, because you can use MA2.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of board ops like to use because they're just still used to that. That's what I learned on MA2. But she was like, "No, I'm doing MA3 mode." Did it effortlessly. Um, but like, and then we went to Detroit. Um, my bad. Let me go back. So they did all that along with Malcolm, who was a DP. So Malcolm is
On the
working,
production.
yeah, on
Okay.
the production, and he was with us too.
Okay.
So he's a part of that world, the production world, the performances. But us, where they're like, yeah, you get to see all their emotions and stuff, and then they're doing the talking heads and all that stuff and preparing. Uh, or when Ludacris, Lotto, and DJ Khaled they go to whatever meeting place, we got to light all that stuff. So, and then Malcolm was doing that as well. So he's like, not only you a DP, you got to worry about the composition and the shots, and he had hella cam ops too. They was all fire. Um, you got to manage all them, and then with every cam op, you got a AC.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people, bro. Sound, like the sound. I was over there with the sound. They didn't even have carts, bro. They had like freaking, I don't even know. It looked like not buildings, but it's just like like how the like computers look like on like movies from like 1930 or whatever. That's what it looked like these huge towers.
Yeah, the towers that like churches use.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They had a
I'm
bunch of
it's
those.
literally, I was just looking into them the other day on a church gig. It's eluding me the name for that tower, but it's to control the power going to all of the different
Yeah,
components that they're using.
yeah,
It's like the voltage regulator in the tower for all of the components.
facts.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had like a boom op for everything. They had a mixer. I think they had one mixer. I can't remember. They had one dude that was just like analyzing the frequencies. That's all that he did, and he was just sitting back there doing that. But anyway, then again, like the electronic news and gathering, so all the reality stuff. Yeah, Panda, he was the gaffer for that, and I was using Blackout, so I was controlling everything. We had, let me think, like 64 Titan tubes, I think, something like that. 64 Titan tubes. We had 2 cases AX5s. He had some Novas. He had some 1200Ds. I don't think we ever used those. Um, He has some MCs.
Gotta have some MCs. The
Yeah,
small
man, them
lights,
joints
man, rule the
everywhere.
world now.
Yeah, bro. We had a bunch of lights, bro.
Yeah,
We had a hella Helios, maybe just as many as Titan tubes. So like organization was crazy.
sure.
But anyway, that was all him. You know what I mean? I'm really controlling the lights and I'm also help rigging. But we also had stage hands too. So like I had to manage that too because I was best boy.
Yeah.
But then when we went to Detroit, only one of us could go. So the gaffer was like, "Well, just send Q. He was already doing blackout anyway." So me and the key grip went. His name is his name is Manny, who's probably the best key grip ever. He been gripping for like I think he said like 30 something years, but like he was dope, bro. Like he's a good dude, and I feel
He's
like me
from
and
Atlanta,
nah, he's from L.A.
LA.
All of them is
Okay.
from L.A.
Okay.
DP's from L.A. The gaffer for the production, he was from L.A.
Do you know, is the ENG portion of the show shot on the same camera packages as like the interviews?
Yeah, it is.
It
So
is
yeah, they were
same
using
lenses and cameras, or just same cameras?
I think it's the same lenses too, and it's crazy because I did the breakdown of what we're about to talk about, and then I put it in a lighting for film group
Okay.
on Facebook, and they was asking me what cameras. I know the cameras was Sony Venice. I think it's Sony Venice twos.
That's the new one, yeah.
I think that's what they're using.
Okay.
But he had jumped in there. The DP jumped in there. He told him exactly what they used. And I was
Okay.
like, that was dope.
Yeah, that's dope. I tried to find that info and get that out here too on the in the final podcast. I'll try to get that on the screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just send it to you.
Yeah, dope.
But yeah, I think it was the same. I can't remember. But yeah, the interviews for sure. And then all the other, yeah, like the them talking to each other, and then after they lose and all that stuff. They had like jitters and all that stuff. That was all the same cameras.
Nice.
And there was a bunch of them. I can't even remember how many. It was a lot.
Yeah, well, that's why when you said there were a lot, I was assuming maybe FX9s, maybe FX6s, being that it's kind of in the reality TV space, the ENG
Hmm.
portion.
Yeah,
But you're saying they all had Venice packages. They spent
yeah,
some money.
bro. I don't know what the budget was, but I
Pretty
know
coin.
I know a lot of us. They flew all of us to Detroit again. So I was gaffer of that. So that it was episode 5. Um, and then yeah, we went to Detroit. Me and Key Grip, and yeah, like most of the production was there. They got some locals there too, so which is cool because it was a union show. So a lot of those guys, they was fired, bro. Like I'm 38, and I think I was probably I had one dude on my team. I think he might have been like 36 or something. Everybody else was older, like 40, 50 something. All of them was
Lots of
keys,
experience.
a lot, bro. All of them was keys or gaffers. They was fired, bro. And we put in some work, man. But like when we got there, one day was travel. We had a pre-light day, and then showtime, and then the last day was just going back home. But yeah, bro, I didn't even want to go to Detroit. I was just
No.
too nervous, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm about to mess this up. All those Titan tubes, bro. We had to rent them from what was it called? Detroit Power and Light. I think that's what the name of it. The rental house was. But we had to rent all that.
That sounds like the people you pay for your monthly utilities at your house.
It does, and I
Detroit
could
Power and
I might
Light.
be messing up their name, but I know they had power in their name. I was like, this is
Yeah,
dope.
that is cool. It's a cool name.
Yep. And I was like, and then what we did too with the Titan tubes, we used zip wire for everything. We always had them on power. So I remember you can't get on the plane with that stuff. So I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get that. Otherwise we're screwed. So like I had to call them as soon as they opened. He was like, oh yeah, they haven't even got the truck yet. I was like, thank God, because I needed that. But yeah, there's nothing that went wrong really. Um, I had to control because again, I'm controlling all these lights. I don't there's 60, 70 some Titan tubes. A few AX5. No, we had a bunch of AX5s, maybe 9 of them at once. I think it was a lot, bro. It was a lot of Astera stuff to the point where they need to go ahead and send your boy some stuff. Really, the DP and the Gaffer, send them some stuff because that whole show was Astera too for the most part. Um, yeah, everything on power, everything on blackout. Um, but there was 2 spaces. So you seen 8 Mile before. So we shot at the same place they was doing the battles
Yeah.
at the shelter, which is in St. Andrews, um, which is downtown Detroit. So I had to control the lights there and then next door in the elephant room. So and I had to use 2 different transmitters. So I had my Aurora in the shelter, just plugged in, chilling. And then when I go to the other side to the elephant room, I just had the satellite in there. So then if I need to make some adjustments, I'm really just switching Wi-Fi. I didn't have enough Ethernet cable, or I just couldn't do all that. I just had to use 2 different
Yeah.
transmitters and be on 2 different networks. It just wasn't enough time to do all that. I wish I could have, but yeah, that was it. And
Is
then
the elephant room the space where Eminem's interview is done?
nah, so Eminem was in St. Andrews.
Okay.
So
That's at
some
the shelter.
the shelters in the basement of St.
Okay,
Andrews.
okay, okay.
That's where they battle at.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
then
I
you
was saying
go,
where his interview at, it's beautiful.
yeah, I don't know. We got lucky on that.
It's beautiful, man. And what you guys did, or how your DP found the frames he did, it it looks great.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to Malcolm. Malcolm is a beast, bro. Um, yeah, so his was on. So if you go into St. Andrews, you go in. There's like a stage there, and then if you go downstairs, that's where the shelter is. That's where Eminem is doing his battles and shit.
Mm,
But then you go upstairs. There's another little upstairs part above the stage or whatever, and then that's where he did it at
yeah,
with
no,
the
it's a
stained glass windows.
great spot.
Yeah, we got blessed.
Yeah.
We got
Let's
blessed.
dive into it a little bit, man.
Okay,
Show me what y'all did. Let's talk about the setup because
let's get it.
it was a great one. Let me give you my thumbprint right there.
Cool.
Oh shoot.
Oh, that's all good. This is dope, bro.
Like you said, man, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Technology's come a long way. I get to just check out what you're doing over there and you got full control.
Yeah. Yeah, let me bring this up. I'm gonna make it yellow, man. I like making it look yellow. Cool. So obviously you got Eminem right here. What we do is like start off with the background. Also, before I start, we didn't have anyone there. So
To stand in.
right. Well, I mean we did, but
He's not there.
he's not there. We don't know what he's wearing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He got that hat on. That's pretty what he do anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the hat, for those that don't know who haven't shot interviews or you're not a DP or a gaffer, the hat becomes an issue because it covers the eyes to the point that the lights that are above the brim of the hat don't make it into the eyes themselves. And so you want to get light into the eyes so that people appear to have life. You want to see reflections and eyeballs of people that are alive, and the low brim on a hat makes it extremely difficult to achieve that. And there's a million different ways to cheat that when it's a movie
Yeah,
and this is an actor, and you got to get that eye light in
got
there
to.
because pretty actor is what sells films. This being a real candid interview, he ain't about to move his hat for you to get an eye light in.
You don't even do interviews, bro.
I believe it.
That's why, and then too, that's something that I didn't think about too. And I was like, yo, because I mean, I'm an Eminem fan. Um, more people would be more of a fan than me, but Eminem is fire. Everyone knows that, so it is still a bucket list situation. But like, just even the fact that he don't really do interviews like that, and we was able to get one,
Yeah.
that was wild, bro. But yeah, I'll start off with the background. Um, nothing through here because we're on the like 3rd floor or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the middle of February, probably the beginning of February, and in Detroit, uh, what is that? Lake Huron? Yeah, right off Lake Huron, and it is very cold, bro. Like I couldn't even breathe in there. That's how cold. And I'm from Ohio. I'm from Central Ohio.
Inside it's cold.
Well, I mean,
Or are you
it's
talking
I
about
mean
outside right now?
outside. Like
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like you walk outside, and it's like your lungs are freezing. It was some scary stuff, and they just
Mm,
people just walking around in there, which is wild.
mm.
But whatever. So it's super cold. So and it was snowing damn near the whole entire time we were there. So it's cloudy. You know what I mean? So they're adjusting that white balance to get this nice blue
Yeah,
that's
it's
coming through
beautiful,
here.
man. And it gave you, that nice reflection on the ground. I'm guessing this was a nice polished floor. I don't think you
Yeah.
guys did a wet down here to get that.
Nah,
And then it
I doubt it.
reflected onto the ceiling and showed, the texture of those ceiling tiles
Yeah.
or whatever they are up there. They're beautiful, man. And then you also have on the left side
Yep.
the tungsten reflections.
Yep.
You got the
From these
bulbs, but
string. Yep.
right above the circle you just made, you have those reflections hitting that little pocket of squares on that side, and
Yeah. Facts.
it's just a great frame. Just putting the camera there, it looks like.
Yeah, bro. Like, and I even said in that video I did, like, this is definitely like up there with some of the best, like, what is it called? Like talking heads that I've been a part of. I did something on Hulu too. Like those are pretty fire too. But like just how simple it was to set this up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has to be the best because of how simple it's like literally like the perfect moment. Like you said, like we had these string lights here that we had absolutely no control of. No dimming or anything. It's just
Really.
on. Yeah, it's just on. We didn't have no control over it. I can get rid of these other things here.
So the balance, the intensity balance between those bulbs and outside, you just had that's just given to you, and you had to
Yeah,
make it work.
just got blessed.
It's awesome.
So all we use in this entire interview is one light. We just use one light, bro, and that was the Hudson Spider Redback. We had the umbrella, so it would have been like it was on a C stand. You can kind of see
Do you
some of it like
remember?
right
I'm a
here.
fan of the Hudson. Do you remember were you bouncing the light inside the umbrella, or were you shooting it direct?
No, we were bouncing it.
Bouncing
So
it.
we're
It's
bouncing
so
it.
awesome. For those that don't know, do you want to explain how
Go
the?
ahead.
No,
It's your
man.
show, bro.
No, man. You go ahead, because I know you're gonna do a better job of
Well,
explaining how it works inside there,
yeah.
and I'll
So
I'll just throw up pictures in the edit.
for sure. But like, so we had it like right here. So let's say the Hudson's right here, and we had it shooting up into the umbrella. So you have this umbrella like this, and then I don't know what diffusion it was. I'm just gonna call it like a magic cloth or something. The magic cloth is right here. So really, like the light is backwards when you have to rig the light. So it's kind of weird, especially if you put it like on a menace arm. It's really weird then. But we had it on a C stand with the diffusion right here. And then I can't remember how big the umbrella was. It was crazy.
Big
But
guy, the parabolic.
yeah, it was a parabolic. And again, the diffusion on the bottom of it. So it was a book light.
Ooh, okay.
So then, and then just you see like right here, you can see well, I can go to a different shot and then show you better. Um, let's see. Yeah, like right here, I'll make this bigger too. So like, we're doing a whole 45-degree angle situation. So that creates this Rembrandt lighting. So this cool triangle right there. And then of course you get the bokeh. This is all house lights. We have no control over that. You got, these stained glass windows, all that. We're on the third floor. I think it's the third. Let's second or third, I can't remember. But anyway, it gets like this nice wrap, you know what I mean? It makes that source, that soft source it's already soft, but it just makes it larger. So, you're that whole inverse square law thing, we're putting the light's right here, right out of frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like right there.
Yeah. Now, so for the sake of this frame, we talked about how hard it is to get the catch light in the eye with the
Mm-hmm.
brim of the hat being so low. I think this frame does a great example of showing how it can be an obstacle. You can literally see on his left eye the
Yeah,
line of shadow from the brim of the hat, and it cuts through half his eyeball right there.
yeah,
But you guys still have the catch light. So my question for you in that regard is this are these catch lights simply the key light at the
yeah.
perfect angle, or did you guys have a boob light or a catch light in place
Nah,
to get the eyeballs?
that's the Hudson right there. So
Okay.
what the DP was like, because again he anticipated that he was gonna wear a hat. So he was like, "Cool, we just get that light to where we can get it up under that hat, and then so like yeah, it's like literally like right here, kind
Did
of.
you guys have someone stand in on set when you were
We
setting
did,
up? Did
yeah,
they
we
have a
did.
hat?
Did they have a hat? I think he
Like, did you
did.
guys
Matter of yeah, he
try
did.
to?
Yeah, he did have a hat. Now that I think
Yeah, I
about
think
it,
that's an awesome idea, man. If you know your talent is gonna,
yeah.
same with the shades.
Oh, facts,
You
yeah,
know, if you have someone on set that has glasses or has a hat, and you know your talent is gonna
yeah,
do that, I think that you get your stand-in to put those on because they're a factor.
yeah. So
Now this
yeah,
looks great.
thanks, bro. And then we just had a B board over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's very contrasty.
Yep.
What ratio are we at here? Do you know? You remember?
Damn, man. I think it might have been.
It's looking like six, maybe six to
I
one.
I think it was four,
Four? Okay.
possibly, and I
Yeah.
think it was really like that, depending on how he turned his head.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't meter that. But we metered everything though, so I couldn't meter this because what I told you earlier.
Yeah, because you
But
couldn't be in the room with
yeah,
him
can't
in the
be in there.
same spot. So
Yeah,
the best you could do is with the stand-in.
right.
Yeah.
So
No, but it's great.
it might be
But
six to
but
one. I
there's
can ask.
enough. It's not a complete fall off.
Yeah,
Even for Netflix's poor quality of streaming, you were able to still see, the detail there. And man, when I watched it, I was like, wow, these
yeah.
are beautiful. And wifey watched it with me, and she said, "This what he worked on." I said, "These specific frames he worked on. How do they look?" She said, "It looked great."
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
It was pretty unbelievable. I'm not gonna lie. They did some interviews down here too, like
yeah.
with some of the people that's on the show. But like it was weird too, like watching them, battling. They had to go home and they lost. But like, you know, they're not thinking about like in the moment that you just got done battling in front of Eminem. Like that's crazy. And then he's telling you that you dope. That's crazy. And then Royce the 5'9" was there too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they cut his interviews. His interviews was dope too. Way actually easier than this. We just use a Titan tube.
Yeah.
Well, two Titan tubes. I can send you that too if you want to put it on the screen. But we use a Duplo, like the light sock, but you can put two Titan tubes in there.
Mm-hmm.
We did that, and then we just uplit like behind them. That's all we did.
Nice.
But that looked dope. And then we had one with Lotto, same thing. We just moved the Titan tubes around, and then above her, it was like not same type of windows, but it was like a square window like this, and you could see that light coming in, and it looked just like this. You know what I mean? This the cloudiness.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is that? Like 7,000 Kelvin or
Yeah,
something
that
like that.
cool blue
Yeah, like
with just
it
a
looked
tinge of
fire.
white.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, again, we're lighting Eminem. No backlight, which you don't really need because you kind of got the contrast right here, the color contrast, which is kind of edging them out.
Did anybody talk about a backlight?
So yeah, we tried to, but here I'll show you this shot right here, which would make it
The
pretty much
wide.
impossible. Yeah, so the wide, there's nowhere to put it at. You can see the ceiling. This is downstairs, so you can't go up and above. But like, yeah, we could only use one light. You know what I mean? He ain't about to be standing in.
No menace arm, I'm assuming.
Nah, couldn't. Like you can see the ceiling. It's right here. There's nowhere to hide it.
Yeah. How wide is this? I mean, I know you're not camera department, but is
I'm
this on
not.
a wider focal length?
Maybe like 18, maybe.
18. I was gonna guess it looks like a 24, but
Okay,
yeah,
I can ask.
18 could be it.
Yeah, because like the stairs are right here. This place, this place is like by itself, and then you have like the stairs. There's barely any room up here.
The let me think of what the term is. Those recessed lights, what are they called up there that we're seeing two of?
I think they're just regular, like the
They're the
LED.
house lights,
Yeah,
right?
those are all house lights.
Those
Everything.
didn't flicker or cause any problems for you guys on set?
Mm-mm.
Nice. I've had a lot of experience with those guys wanting to flicker at certain frame rates.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, we had like a pre-light day, so like they tested all that
Cool.
stuff.
Yeah, you would have discovered it.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Art put these here, these little string lights. I can't remember though. I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did. Now
That's
that I think
awesome if
about
they
it.
did.
Yeah, because it's like otherwise it just would have been like just blue everywhere. But I mean, yeah, we kept it super easy, bro. Like this was easy. It was harder to get the Hudson Spider up there than it was to light it. So this right here, this was dope.
Yeah, very moody.
Um, this is actually when they after they battled and whoever lost, they had to go up here. It was kind of cool. But so like again, we could start with the background, like his backlight, because he did two entrances. First one was like down these stairs. I thought I sent you that, but I guess I forgot. But it's all lit the same way for the most part. This is an AX5 right here. It's just rigged up on it's like this little wooden thing right here. We use a C clamp,
Okay.
and then it's just that really. It's just a backlight.
Nice.
Had that on red, obviously. All control on blackout. And then along this wall, it actually extends further than this. Those are all Titan tubes as Scion. And what I had to do was I had to get with the dimmer op and the LD, and then it was like cool, just match what they're doing with the battle. So
Yeah.
that's
Cool.
pretty
That's
much what
dope.
that is. Has some cool color contrast. Another easy setup
Yeah.
that took us a few minutes. Everything powered always. Um, yeah, I didn't have a single problem. But again, my team was really good, like really, really, really good. So just a little bit of rigging that first day, and all I had to do was come in, turn it on, and that was it.
Nice. So
Yeah.
between working on the interview setup here and then working on the ENG portion of the show,
Mm-hmm.
did you have a favorite or did you have, a better time working on one versus the other?
I don't know. I feel like just this time was more kind of impactful because I feel like, like when you see like your career going a certain way, but you want it, you want it to go up, but then sometimes your mind's like, yeah, hopefully something happens so that you don't have to do it right now. Because if you mess up, everything's gonna be terrible. So it's like I was kind of forced into doing this.
Mm,
So I feel like it made me a way better gaffer because one, I'm with a super experienced key grip, you know what I mean, that I'm learning like leadership skills from.
mm-hmm.
And then that's what I like to do if I work for a gaffer or, in this case, a key grip. Um, I try to see what I like about them and then I just add that to how I work too. So like, yeah, probably this, man. I mean, everything else, like as far as we was in the studio too, like we met a bunch of people on that show, but they had to go and do songs and stuff in the studio. We lit all that. We was in Stankonia. They was in how many people was left there? 4 or 5, maybe 5 people, if I can remember. But we lit all 5 of those rooms. Just and then I had to go around with my light meter. And then DP was like, I think he wanted it at like a 2.8, I think. I can't remember. It was either that or a 4. But he was like, just make sure, And then me and the gaffer, damn, my bad.
Yeah, that's
Me,
another thing. I don't even know that we need it right now.
oh, okay. So yeah, so me and the gaffer, like we was split up a lot too. So it was really like splinter unit mostly. Um, so he'd be at. They had a cipher with Remy Ma, like he was a part of that. He lit that. Was it the green room? I guess. Um, and then because there was some stuff when I was like, I don't remember any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll be over at this other studio, where they had to write for the cipher, and then I had like 3 stagehands with me, but they was split. I would always be with the key grip. It would be in the key grip, and then at whatever location, it would be the gaffer, and then the best boy grip. So I don't know why they. Well, I get why they did it that way. I guess it kind of makes sense, but yeah. But like I said, everything Titan twos, everything on power, always like yeah, because you had to like light that space. You know what I mean? There's no. They had to be able to move freely, and it still
Mm-hmm.
looks good. So that's mostly what it was. But yeah, I think towards the end, um, I would say like my second favorite, um, Talking Head. They had like 4 people left, and we had this dude named Jay Tosh. I'm gonna do a video on that too. Um, but with him, we had a bunch of lights going on that. So we had the Hudson Spider again to Keaton with, but we had the Roscoe with the
Which
dot,
one?
the DMG dash.
Okay.
So we used that. That was like right on the table to fill in them shadows up here because you got to have a certain contrast ratio that we had to stick to that I can't remember what it was, but we had to stick with that. Um, Again, a bunch of Titan tubes everywhere. Like we had, like they had like a fixture rail, the ones that can articulate or whatever. We had that up there. We just zip tied like 3 tubes up there. Everything had LCDs on it, honey crates, for the backlight. And then we had, what else did we have? Then we would just uplight everything. So we had Titan tubes. I had to get up under this console, but like we just uplit so you can get like this gradient. And then we had to rig some tubes up above these speakers. So we had like a couple different looks. So at this point, and also this show also got me way better at using blackout, which I was already decent, but like I got way faster. My organization skills got way better because you had to. Because like there was a time where at the very end, they choosing who's winning. So like the people that they're leaving and they're doing like these freaking interviews and stuff. Thought we had like 30 some Titan twos up or something like that. But then we had trust, and then we uplit the trust. And then he'd be like, yo, what's that one? And I had to try to find it, and it was just taking too long. So I was like, cool, I can just name this Trust 2. And he was like, oh, okay, so what's this 2? All right, what's this uplight at? And I can just go to Trust 2. It's like, cool, it's at 50%. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's make that one a little bit brighter. We had stuff like hidden cases, uplit cases, behind cases, in between them. It was a lot, bro.
Yeah, uplighting is dope. For folks that don't have a lot of experience uplighting, I think uplighting can change your environment
Yeah,
in one of the most drastic ways that lighting possibly can.
yeah, for sure.
I've been most recently that I can think of. I had a project I shot for a collaboration between Marvel versus Capcom and
Oh, nice.
PlayStation. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah, I
a
saw that.
yeah, it was a cool little gig. I'm forgetting his name right now. S-Van was the streamer,
Mm-hmm.
our streamer that we had on that show. And then Creed, I'm forgetting the other part of his name. Man, it may come to me later, but Austin Creed from the
Okay.
WWE.
Okay.
Yeah, Austin Creed from the WWE. And the director has sent me his inspiration, but there's no art department. It's a small project, so art
Right.
department was gonna consist of the PAs and the producer
Right.
getting creative and us finding practicals if that's what we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
use. And so when he sent me the location, the pictures of the location from the scout, there was nothing to work with for a practical in the entire room. So I
Wow.
brought 2 China balls that
Nice.
we attached in the background just from some clear fishing line and hung down just to give the space a source of light and,
Mm-hmm.
and give us something to play with for color also.
Yeah.
We ended up making them, I think, like a purplish blue color.
Nice.
Uh, the inspiration scent was warm lighting that included the colors from the Marvel Capcom series. So
Yeah.
it was reds, yellows, oranges, and then that purplish blue
Yeah.
that Capcom has as their accent color.
Nice.
And so the space just had gray walls.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fabric that had texture. You know, it was some sort of like soft draped type texture material on the walls, but it was just gray.
Oh, cool.
We put 2 Novas back there on red, put them on the ground, uplit that, and all of a sudden it transformed what the background looked like
Yeah.
in a way that I don't think anything else could have.
Got you. Yeah.
And
That's
so
one thing about gray,
uplighting is
bro.
a cheat code, man. It is
Facts.
dope when you get a boring location,
Mm-hmm.
or like you were talking about these talking head interviews where you're given a 6x8 room to work with that has
Mm-hmm.
nothing in it interesting.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Uplight.
Put a nice uplight gradient on the wall behind
Mm-hmm.
them.
That's all you gotta do.
Or even down is cool too sometimes, you know, when you spike the wall and
Yeah.
but gradient in the vertical direction is a cool play in the lighting department.
Yeah. That's exactly what we did. So we uplit and we, you know, spiked the wall as well. So it's like, and then again, if you use a blackout, this is the difference between using like this Stare app or something like that, which you can do. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not as fast for me. So I can give them a couple different looks. So it's like, yeah, let's see what purple and gold look like, and then I do it. It's like, cool. All right, let's see what green and I don't know, red or whatever. We're doing that, and then I could just save that as looks, and
Mm-hmm.
then he'd be like, all right, let's go back to whatever, and I can just hit that button and it's done. But I could also tell you where using DMX wirelessly, which surprisingly I didn't have any interference with all that information out there because again we had sound, um, we had Teradecks
A lot of
everywhere.
them. Yeah, I was gonna say you had a lot of wireless feed happening on the video end.
Yeah, like I didn't really have no problems except for one time. That had nothing to do with that, but um, we were trying to get these lights right, but we didn't have enough time, you know, to pre-light or whatever. So we just had to hurry up. So we hurrying up, and I got my iPad, but I got my satellite in the little holder thing. So that's how it work. I keep my iPad on me, and then I move lights or run power. Um, and these people are doing their performances and losing, so you know it's very emotional. So they getting ready to do these interviews, right? And I had the satellite, and that joint fell. But when it fell, it hit the ground. And but normally that doesn't matter. I was like, cool. I just picked it back up. And he was like, yo, Q. He was like, that light's supposed to be signed. Let's do that instead. I was like, cool. I'm doing it. Nothing's happening. And they're like, yo, you gotta hurry up because they're getting ready to come back here. So I was like, I got it. And then I'm like noticing that the transmitter, the satellite, it was like frozen or something. So like I was like, yo, there's something wrong with this, bro. I'm telling the gaffer, he's like, man, you better hurry up. So I turned it off. When I turned it off, all the lights turned off.
Oh no.
It was pitch black back there. That was crazy, bro. But then and then he was like, yo, what happened? He was like, what's going on, man? We gotta get these lights on right now. And I was like, bro, when I dropped it, like, I don't know if this is broken now. I have no idea. So this is like happening in like slow motion. And I was like, cool, I'm just gonna try to turn it back on. It's taking like, it feels like 30 minutes, but it's really like a couple seconds. As soon as that joint turned back on, all the lights turned back on, and I had control again. That was some scary stuff because there's nothing that we can do. We can get the app going, which is the backup plan, but there was no time. I think they was
Yeah.
filming and I feel like it went out
Yeah.
and then no one noticed somehow. So that was some scary stuff. But yeah, man. I didn't have any wireless issues, but it was just like a hardware, I guess, thing. But I don't know. That was a cool show, bro. I was glad to be a part of it.
Now
Glad
it,
to,
it looked like it was a lot of fun. And
yeah,
like it
man.
would have been something that you could learn a lot on.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we normally do like, features and stuff like that or commercials, but these people do reality. Like, that's what they do. Like, the DP I was working with, I know he does like other stuff. I feel like he does like documentary stuff as well. But like he does reality, and then I'm like, yo, I didn't know you could do all this with these Titan tubes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just everywhere they went, like it was just great. Like just having the full control, like having this be at a 4 on the left side and then a 2-8 on this side. So it's like they're moving around and then just having little stuff in the background. You know what I mean? Just in case we lose them. And then watching the cam ops, like I got a whole new respect, you know what I mean, for cam ops just working on that show because it's like they're really independent, really, because he's dependent on them to get that good shot. And all they're doing, they have like 3 cam ops in their little waiting area, you know what I mean, waiting to go up on stage and perform for the judges. They find like these interesting shots. You know, what I mean, they might need a Hollywood tube or whatever, but they finding these just super interesting shots, doing these interviews real quick. It was dope, bro. And I'm like, you know, I feel like they don't get enough shine either.
Nah, for sure.
But they all like it was all cooking up all the departments, like the art, like they building these sets in like, you know, a few hours. Like I remember this one set they built had like this checker floor and we had to run power for it. Like had a bunch of lamps. Um it was like 60-watt bulbs, I think we were using. And then we had to run power. They had these sconces. We had to run power to that. We had to figure out how to cut that and then convert that to Edison. So that was fun doing that. And then we had to run power to all that. And then we had like some Novas, again, Titan tubes, literally in an L shape above the set. Because again, just so they can walk around, and then just 2 big sources on the side. It was fire, but they just never used it. I was like, damn, that was
Yeah,
dope.
which happens.
Yeah, but just like the art
Happens.
that they did, I was like, damn, dog. Just watching them like transform just terrible looking rooms and just works of art. So it's like, yeah, shout out to art too. But yeah, that was, I don't know, it was a cool show.
That's
Um,
dope.
Shout out a lot of it at Tyler Perry Studio. That was like the first time I've been there.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had like 2 stages. A lot of it was like half of it was there. After they had done like the thing where, you know, they had like 100, 200, or 300 type or amounts of people or whatever, um, you know, trying to get on the show and performing in front of the judges. um, they moved everything to the stages after that. So I was like, dang, man, just to see that one dude owns all that, that was pretty inspiring too. You know, he might not like his movies, but that matter of fact, seeing that made me stop speaking badly about the movies. I'm like, this dude got a White House in here. He got a jail. He got a bunch of apartments in here. He got like the back lot is like looks like New York City.
Yeah.
It's far. You ever been in there before?
I haven't been in there, but I've seen some video of him giving a tour
Oh, okay.
and explaining his ideology behind some of the stuff he had designed and why the sets are the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, there's one big house I know that has 4 completely different exteriors.
I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah,
see that. That's
so
wild.
there's a mansion, and from the outside, side of one view, you have what looks like a modern, house in LA.
Mm-hmm.
From the side adjacent, you have a house that looks like a Georgia contemporary mansion, and from the back, you have what looks like a DC political mansion, and from the other side,
Yeah.
you have a completely different look. And so, just thinking of the space and maximizing it that way, to know that he had that idea and that thought process
Yeah.
behind everything on the lot, I can only imagine how cool it is as a whole.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. It's definitely because I guess it's just Fort McPherson. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it was cool. I'm trying to think. We used some aperture stuff on there. Um, that was crazy because we had like this big setup where Lotto came in. She had like this pink Lamborghini,
Mm-hmm.
and that was cool. Like I had to give to Gaffer his flowers because that's one of the things I learned from him. he want to make the shot look good. So if he got to bring in something for that to happen and then worry about the money later, or just he's just taking that initiative. So he had brought in that Godox. It was a Godox F600, I think. That 4x light that they got, that's bicolor. I think that's what it's called. But we used that to key her with. And then we, of course, had the up
Carpet
lights.
light, is that what you're talking about? It's like a
Yeah.
matte light.
Yeah.
hmm
And I was like, yo, this light is crazy.
I have in my kit, not to hijack the conversation, but
Oh,
I
you
have
good.
a similar light. I don't know if you've gotten to play with it. It's the
Oh,
IntelliTech.
yeah. Yeah. Which one you got?
We have the Mega
Nice.
6C, the color.
Yeah.
It's not the huge one, but it's a good size.
That's a dope light,
I
bro.
want to say that it's like 40 by 40 when it's built
Yeah.
in its softbox,
Yeah.
or that's the size of the stretched out unit on the frame that it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope though. I love it.
That's a good
It's
light.
basically a movable window.
Yeah, facts. I'm trying to think too. Does that one have built-in CRMX?
We got the one that does. So they sell both variations that
Yeah,
does and doesn't, and we went ahead and got the more expensive model.
that's good.
Yeah.
Because Wavelength, they have one in their showroom. Um, is it that one though? It's not the 40 by 40 one. I can't remember. It's like the 4 by 2, I think.
hmm
But that doesn't have CRMX.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one thing too. Like with these lights, because on the show I'm on now, actually, most of our lights that we have we're running wireless. So um, I got a 1200X. I don't know if you use that yet.
Not yet. I can't wait
Man,
though.
that I don't know how they did it, but like they
I
have
can't wait
the.
to try the 1000C either.
I haven't tried that, but yes, I'm sure that's fire too. But like that's what they have in common. So the 1000C, the 1200X, what else? The 80C.
hmm
That's it. But I think they have that Blair engine in them.
hmm
So the blue, lime, amber, indigo, red. So they're able to like tune it to where they call it tunable color, I think.
hmm
Tunable, yeah, bicolor, I believe, with the 1200X. So a lot of people don't know that 1200X actually has color too. So you
Yeah, it
can,
does not the full spectrum, but
yeah,
I think it's like 70% or
yeah,
a high 60% of the spectrum.
yeah. And it's supposed to be double the intensity of the 1200D, which is like still the same amount of amps. So right
hmm
around like 15. And then you still have, it's still bicolor too, but it's double the exposure or double the intensity. I mean, and
Yeah, the
yeah,
tech is getting crazy.
yeah, bro, that light is dope. I can't believe how good that light is. But we've been using that light a lot. But yeah, like I said, mostly that XC26, like that joint is crazy, man. You got to run 60 amp with
I
that.
was gonna ask that. Does that require any special power?
Yeah, just 60 amp. It's still, um, I mean, I'm assuming it's 2600 watts. So if you do paper amps, then it's 26 amps. So, we can run that, and we can run the Nanlux on the same Jenny. So we got a 7K. So it's only right around like
Nice.
50 amps, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then we usually keep that 1200X inside, you know, for like little like hair lights and stuff, or if we need to act like the sun is pushing through whatever window and we just need it on the wall.
Extending it type of thing.
Yeah. Like, man, that light is fire, bro.
That's dope.
But yeah, I use the CS15. You ever use that?
I haven't.
So that's also dope. Um, you gotta that uses straight up 20 amps, so you need like the 20 amp stinger for that to even work. That light's dope too. I got to use that at Cine Gear. I was working with Aperture with that too. We built their I helped them build the booth. So it was
Oh yeah,
easy.
I remember seeing that. So did you get into that the same way as you got into the other situation with them?
Oh no, so I was already like they already sent me the Sidus 4. So like Tony, the person that I told you about at Aperture, they was coming to Atlanta. So he was like they called Decon. I think Decon was out of town, I believe. But Decon recommended me. And it was like, yeah, man, you trying to make some money? I was like, hell yeah. So all we had to do is just build that.
What a great intro to a conversation from a
Exactly.
company
It
like
was dope.
Aperture. Hey, Aperture, keep it up, man.
Hey,
That's how you make friends.
facts, bro.
That's how you make friends in this business.
Yes.
Hey,
Aperture is dope, bro.
you busy? You want to make some money?
Right. They took care of me, bro. Like they was cool, man. I got to meet all those people, bro. Like Dash. You might have seen him in a couple of videos, but Dash, he's a programmer too. He knows everything about Citus, like Citus Pro. He knows everything. Um, this dude there named Stan. He used to be electric, but he's a DP now. But he was like, I think he might help with marketing. I can't remember. My bad, Stan, if I can't remember. But like he was helping us. We was running. What was we running? 100 amp, 100 amp. So we built that trust. Um, my boy Hayes that I met there. I met some dope grips from that. Hayes, one of them. Juan works with Decon a lot. They just took over, bro. I'm just like, yo, I never really built um a trust before like that.
Yeah, and this trust that you're talking about, this is to display the InfiniMat, or
No, so
just
I can
in
talk about that
general for
too.
the booth?
That was for the booth. So they had like what was it, 8 feet, and then we had went 15 feet across, and we had a bunch of different aperture lights just hanging off of that.
Just
But
like a display of
yeah, it
all
was
the
the
heads
display.
and all
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
like
that's
we had
dope.
the infinity bars up there. That was dope. We had Novas up there. Like 600 X's. There's a bunch of stuff just showing like basically
What's all
all their
coming out?
lights.
What's
Yeah.
available?
That took a couple of days to do that. And then we went to Wavelength after that. That's when we built the 20 by Infinity Mat. That was dope too. Put it on a petty bone. Yeah, that was dope. I forgot about that. That was crazy. To see that light was wild, bro.
Yeah, it's impressive looking, but it does also look like it requires a bit of labor to get up.
Yeah, bro. So basically, from what I gathered, it's 4 of the 8 bys, and people are like, well, that's not 20 by 20.
Yeah, but there's stretched and there's space that it
Yeah,
spreads the 20 foot
it's
space.
spaced, and then the inflatable part that's 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use like 4 pumps for that, and it uses 4 ballasts too. And then I ran out wirelessly, and I use Citus Pro. I usually use Blackout, but I use Citus Pro for that. That was dope. Like that took a
What would
lot of
you
work.
guesstimate, just for folks watching and my general knowledge? How many people and how long do you think that is appropriate to get that set up in a studio environment?
Uh,
Being that there's a grid to hoist it to.
that's a good question. Safely,
Mm-hmm.
how many people do we had? Let's see, me, Hayes. No, Juan wasn't there. Me, Hayes, Ronan was there. Yeah, you know Ronan?
That sounds familiar too.
He a gaffer too. He's dope. I'm gonna link y'all up.
Okay.
He'd be good on the show too. But it was me, Ronan, Hayes. I can't remember the two other gentlemen's names, but we had rented trust from them, and they helped us out a lot too. And then Tony was there to help us rig too. So probably like 6 people, something like that. Well, we was putting on a petty bone though, so to bring like for a grid, I'll still maybe like 4 people, something like that. And he still got to run power, which ain't wasn't that bad.
How
How many
long you
amps was
think?
that? Oh shit! It took us like 6 hours or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a minute. It's hella cases.
Yeah, that's and all of that's a factor because it has to go back in the cases. It needs to be organized. Like
Yeah,
all it has to be safe.
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna take you a minute,
Okay.
but I mean, it once it's there at that
Yeah.
point.
No, completely doable with a pre-light day though, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
For sure. And possibly depending on your budget, your crew size, and the flow of the production, it could be done on the day of, um,
Yeah,
if it's done the right way. That's good to know.
yeah,
Appreciate that.
no problem. But yeah, they got the 8 by. We
Yeah,
got we built that too.
I for sure can't wait to get to play with them.
Yeah.
They're a
What
luxury. I got a setup coming up next week on Thursday. We're doing a 12 by overhead, just skirted.
oh word, that's
Yeah,
dope.
just gonna put four Novas through it, spread out.
That works too, bro.
Yeah,
You might as well run it
the
wirelessly
most
too,
cost efficient way that we can do for what we have in our kit. But
for sure.
it would be amazing to just throw. I mean, maybe just throw isn't the right terminology, but to use an Infinimat up there, that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. When is that? When are you doing that?
19th. I think that's Thursday, right?
Oh yeah, dang, I'm on the show already. I was gonna say if it was a day where I wasn't working, I would just pull up and then just do the wireless for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
That way you don't have to use Sidus. Sidus is good though. Not hating on
Yeah,
it.
I got Sam on it with me as my gaffer.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so I got Sam Wakina, I got
Sam Joaquin, shout out him.
Lonnie Key Grip. Gonna put
Okay,
together
cool.
our 12 by overhead. And I don't know if you know Eduardo. You know Eduardo? He's recently out of film school, younger guy. His last
Yes.
name is eluding me right now, but he's got a great personality, super
Does he work
easygoing.
with Sam a lot?
He may. I've been seeing him a lot in our circle.
Nah,
He's
yeah,
been
man.
working his way around pretty well.
I don't think I know him.
But yeah, we got Eduardo on there as, swing situation.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be cool though. Nice little music video, Afro beats vibe,
That's dope.
Studio Space West. So big, huge, open space to work with
That's the
and
best
play
one,
in. I
bro.
love it, man. Studio Space West is awesome.
Yeah, I like the other one, the other location. I'm
With the
actually going
sets
there
in
after
the
here.
courtroom and such.
Yeah, like that's
They're
the
both dope,
they
but
are, but
from a
West is the
working
real one.
standpoint, West is so convenient and nice to be able to pull up into the studio with I can pull my entire
Yeah,
van in there.
you can.
And
Yep.
I do. We pull in, it'd be 25 degrees outside, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
pull into the heated, studio, and we're gonna unload in the
Yep.
heat. it's,
Yep.
it's it's awesome. It's so big. The accommodations, all of the green rooms, the dressing rooms, the bathrooms, the kitchens
Yep.
available. Like you just cannot beat it.
Yeah, it's dope.
You can't.
I worked on something there. It was Kai Sanat
Yeah. Okay.
um video. And all I did was rigging programming, but I was just like I've been there before, but I was just like, dang, bro, you got all this space. The grid's there already. You know what I mean? What room did we use? We didn't use a room with all those what was it called? The Cineo Quantum Force?
That's
With
the room you
the
did use.
panels?
That's
No,
what
we
you.
didn't use that one.
Okay. So were you guys in the studio that was a big black room with the
Yeah.
white cyc at the end?
Was there a white? Yeah, yeah, yep.
Far at the end.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
I
it was
love
at.
that space.
Yeah, but there's another room because we work with I work with Mike Preston.
Mhm.
I work with him. I was bored out this music video with what's that dude's name? Kenny Mason.
Okay.
So he did like 7 music videos in one day or something.
What?
Something
That's
crazy like
crazy.
that. But they're like visualizers. That's what they were.
Gotcha.
So it was like quick, but
Hmm.
like yeah, like they had the Cineo joints up there, the Quantum Force, then that other room,
Yeah.
all those 4 bys. Those lights are dope.
Yeah, I did another project. It's eluding me. The name of the brand is a liquor brand, with 2 Chainz commercial,
Mm-hmm.
and they built some sets at Studio Space West in that back
Mm-hmm.
portion over there. Studio Space West is just so dope, man.
Very
The
dope.
things that they can accommodate, you can do, is super dope.
Facts.
And the pricing is, I don't know how much producing you've done, but I've had to.
Zero.
Okay, yeah. So I've had to produce a couple things, and I've utilized them, and the pricing is just like for what you get is amazing.
Yeah.
It's dope. But yeah, I just had a couple questions. I think
Yeah.
we've thoroughly gone over the rhythm and flow,
Facts.
and I think that there's been lots of gems and information that folks can take and learn from pertaining to that. But just on a conversation basis, I want to know from your perspective what makes a good DP
Mm.
versus a great DP.
Damn, that's a good question, bro. Um, I think there's a lot of good DPs, and I think with like being technical with things, I think you become a great DP as you get older. I think because you get that experience. But like great DPs, like they got like that the leadership skills. I feel like you gotta have that as much as the technical skills. Um, that's pretty much yeah, that's what I think. Like as far as leadership skills, bro. Like and then you don't have like these little things that they used to do. Maybe when they was gaffing. Like this is gentleman, his name is Ferg. You ever met Ferg? He's a gaffer. But he DPs though too. But he was like gaffing for like 30 something years.
Mm.
So like he has like these different like things he does like when it comes to like lighting. And then but when he speaks to you, he's talking to you like he's teaching you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, so let's put this sky panel here because then when they come right here, they'll already be good because we can use it as a key and then they'll be backlit by this other one over here or whatever. Just I know that's real general, but like just like how he talks.
No, so I get what you're saying. I've worked as a swing and as an electric under gaffers. There's no need to name anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Who maybe aren't as, I won't say specific, but they aren't as thorough in explaining the reasoning behind what we're doing.
Yeah.
And not that they should have to. You know, as a third, you're hired to do what you're told by the
Yeah.
gaffer. You know, you're there to be their hands.
Right.
But when they are able to give you a bit of the insight about why you're putting something where you're putting it, man, for me, it's the difference sometimes between like setting the light right the first time and having to readjust it twice.
Exactly.
You know, so that idea that you said, you know, it'll hit them as a key here, but as they exit, it'll backlight them. That gives me more context about where this light exactly needs to be aimed.
Exactly. And you're learning something from the dude too.
The approach, the workflow,
Yeah.
the theory behind the approach.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think like, yeah, like it's okay, yeah, they can be like super technical, like, yeah, so I want this freaking M90. I want it, 14 feet from this window. And then I wanted to go into this ultra bounce. I want it to be a 20 by 12 ultra bounce or something like that. And then that's gonna hit this window, and then we're gonna use these certain type of shears. Like I think those are great, but then like them explaining that and then telling you why they're doing it, especially if you're a gaffer too, because I'm supposed to be learning from them. Um, I think that's makes them great, and then also good leadership. Like how much do you have my back? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's like Tom. If you're a great DP, you like Tom Brady, bro. Like Tom Brady, I feel like I think this is right, but I think what he did with his offensive line, which is what I feel like what G&E would be, and you know, their yeah, I would say G&E is really like their offensive line.
Yeah.
And what he did was I feel like he bought them all cars or something like that. That's what Tom Brady did. And because of that, they love him. And so they're gonna protect him. And I think like if you a great DP, we're learning from you, but also you got our back to the point where you're not letting production shit on us or you know what I mean? Like whatever happens. I work with, some DPs that they are, unfortunately spineless and
Mm-hmm.
they will throw us under the bus. But I work with some other ones that it's like, nah, I got their back. Or they'll just advocate for us. And I feel
Yeah.
like stuff like that makes you a great DP. You know what I mean? That and then just giving out game. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Just
facts for sure.
naturally when you're talking to people. Q could let's put this whatever. You know what I mean? Like I say, M40 or whatever. Let's do that. We're gonna use an HMI because I just like the the temperature of the lighting better. It just looks more natural to the sun than LEDs for this specific scene. I mean, stuff like that, like telling me why we're doing it. I think that's dope. And then, but I mean, but on lower budget things, you can kind of tell what you're gonna do. So, yeah, I think that's what probably is the difference for me.
No, that's dope, man. I think I couldn't disagree with any of that. Um, for me, what I've noticed, like you said, is it's been experience based is what the difference always is between someone being impressive, you know what I mean, and making great images, but then like you said, it's do we make it out on time?
Facts.
Did we skip lunch? Was it a working lunch? Did we get out early?
Yeah.
Um, for me, and this is just me reflecting on my own journey, I felt growth as a DP when I had a producer in the room and I looked to my AD, I said, camera ready? And he looked at me and said, really? And surprised that, you know, I was already ready to roll on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And the producer was in the room and he said, you can have more time if you want it. We're good. And my literally the first thought that crossed my head was why?
That's the way to be.
You know, and I didn't say that to him, but that was the thought that came to my mind. And I felt maturity in my own journey then because I think a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, one asking me or telling me I had more time would have made me insecure first because what do you see that I don't see is the issue.
Right.
And then two, I think only experience can teach you less is more.
Right.
And so in the beginning, you're always wanting to add another cider, another layer of diffusion, another light, another bounce, you
Yeah.
know, it's always add, and growth in being a cinematographer for me is learning how to take away.
That's real. Yeah, that's real.
So that when you mentioned a great DP not shitting on the crew, part of it for me is it resonated as not throwing them under the bus for things that are out of everybody's control.
Pretty much.
You know, don't blame G&E for why we're behind when Mother Nature is the factor that we're battling against or something along them lines.
Right.
But then also I think another part of it is like don't put your crew through the ringer. But if you haven't been on G&E and you've only spent time as an AC, you know, you don't have the experience of setting up a 12 by outside, having it on standby, and then the producers coming out and saying, hey, we're going to roll this shot over to after lunch, and after lunch doesn't call for any of this equipment.
Right.
Because the lighting's changed at that point.
Facts.
You know, and your DP had you guys setting all that stuff up, maybe knowing that it could be for nothing, and didn't speak up for you guys, or you know.
Yeah, facts.
What I've taken the most from my time in G&E is how to treat G&E.
Yeah,
I think
that's smart, bro. Because it's just the morale is different too. Because then that's what it is too. Like if you have like a gaffer and DP, they're supposed to be like this.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's certain things like I'm working with you were working with Jelani before?
Yes,
Riley?
yes.
Yeah.
Ironically, the project I was talking about where I had that moment with the producer giving me more time, that was adjacent. He was literally in the house next door
Really?
directing a separate episode for this project that we were working on.
Nah, I know what
You
that
know what I'm
project
talking
was.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah. So, you know, I wasn't working with Jelani, but literally adjacent to Jelani on those two episodes.
That's
So I
dope.
got to see him work. My episode, I was DPing it, but when we wrapped up for the day, you know, it was like a 3-day type of situation. When we would wrap out all the things I needed to DP, I would swing over into G&E and become best boy, essentially on that team.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was cool. And then when they wrapped out early on like day 2, they swung over into my G&E and I
That's
just got a
dope.
bigger team. It
Yeah.
was really cool.
That's
It was
dope.
cool.
But I'm working with him now on a movie. So I'm gaffing, but he's DP. And it's like, you know, I have a good time working with him because
Yeah.
again, he got your back. He know what he doing. when he's lighting, he's telling you why we're doing certain things, and then but then also at the same time open minded to where we can collab a little bit, which is dope. And then because of that, again, he's treating G&E great like you do. So that means like, oh, okay, cool. We down a light, man. I'll just bring mine in because I want to make sure because I support the DP. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or I don't really like asking for stuff, but it's like, all right, if I can try to get this XD26, we haven't got it in the budget. That joint was like, I think Wavelength. I get everything from Wavelength because that's family, and then they give me like a great deal. I don't know if you've been over there.
Yeah, I have. Last thing I went there for was the Lightbridge demo from the owner, actually, which
Oh,
was
nice,
pretty cool.
nice. But yeah, if you want to rent some stuff, let me know. I'll get you with my people's.
Absolutely.
But like, I'll go there, and even with a 30% discount, I think that joint's gonna be like $2,000. I think,
For the
which
whole
is
duration of
yeah,
what
it
y'all
was
guys were
three
working
weeks, but
on.
that's still a really good price. But we didn't have that,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, cool. I'll reach out to Tony and see if I can get a demo. But if that's not Jelani or other DPs that I work with, I'm not doing that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Nah, and that's why relationships are important.
Facts. So yeah, I feel like and it's trickle down. Like, what makes a good DP or a great one is the same thing applies for what makes a good gaffer or a great one or key grip or key makeup or transpo. I think it's all the same. You know what I mean? Like any type of department head, like if you are a certain way, you got your people's back and they can rely on you, but then you're still cool with them. You know what I mean? They're gonna make sure they work hard to make you look good. That way you can make DP look good, and then now the DP's working, and then if you got good chemistry with him or her, then now you got a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like what did I learn? I work with this DP. His name is Michael Wines, like another great DP. Um, really nice guy. I don't know if you ever work with him. Super nice guy, very talented. Um, Definitely have your back. Matter of fact, he got me. I don't even know if I'm even supposed to talk about this, but I was working with J Dubs. You know J Dubs. J Dubs was
Yep.
Gaffer. Um, I was best boy electric, but I was also dimming. You know what I mean? So and that helped us out a lot. And cause I J Dubs is my guy, I was like, cool. I'll just bring my kid, bro. Don't even worry about it. Um, if I can get it, if I can get some bread on this, that'll be great. If not, I'm not even tripping. Mike was like, what do we got to do to like get him, something. So what they did was they gave me a decent amount for my kid. This is at the end of the movie, and they gave me an extra day of pay. But that's
So
because of him. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But one thing he said was like, what makes a good gaffer. This is something that I think he learned from Roger Deakins. He said somebody asked Roger Deakins what makes them, what makes a good gaffer. He just said a friend. And I was like,
Mm.
that's some real spill because that's basically
Mm.
what it is. You know what I mean?
Hey man, that that resonated so much with me just now because as a DP, when everybody above the line above you is looking at you in the heat of the moment,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing you are hoping and praying is that that gaffer is holding you down all day long on every single thing they can do to help. Please be help. Have the shiny board in the bounce just ready to audition it.
That's all you gotta
You
do.
know what I mean? Just have it close by, please. Just
Yeah.
have it close by. So I
Yep.
don't even have to ask to see it.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
what.
mean?
Yeah.
Have them flops ready because I like to bring flops in. Like
You
I
already
have so
know.
many other things that I'm thinking about. Just learn me a little bit,
That's it.
and I'm gonna learn you. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So I can help you out, like you were talking about. If it's a money thing, if it's you know, one of my favorite go-to gaffers. He a bigger guy.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna be the hardest working person on set, but we gotta feed him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just simple math. If you got a diesel 18-wheeler dump truck out there, it's gonna move some things, but it takes gasoline, it takes diesel, and it
Facts.
uses a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell my producer, hey, look, get him a second lunch.
That's real.
For real, like if we're doing catered lunches, don't have no little child's meal for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. I already
And
know
they
who
be
you're
like,
talking about
what?
too.
Yeah, they be like, well, I mean, we get, look, man, I'm just telling you, I know my boy, that's the one thing that could upset him all day long.
Yeah.
Just feed him right, please, for me. Feed him right for me.
That's it. You gonna
So
show
yeah,
up.
man. When you said that is the best thing a gaffer can be as a friend, that is the realest spill, man.
Yeah, bro. Like that's all it is. And then too, like, aspiring gaffers and stuff like that. That again, yes, it's technical stuff. Like this is fire what you did, but it's still like leadership skills. Like I read a book. Um, what's the name of it? Damn, I brought it up and I can't remember the name. But one of my favorite books is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I used to be like super, super, super introverted. I still am. But like once I read that book and then like I would be kind of socially awkward or whatever. Once I read that book, like to sum it up, yeah, it's still on. To sum it up, it's just like uh, just listen to people talk. And then don't talk about yourself. So from that, that helps me and I can use that in film. But also leadership skills. Like this is it's like a corporate book. Like it's like this story, super corporate. But like this dude, he's like a right wing kind of person. But like when he steps into that office, all that's gone. And then like one of his secretaries or something that had been his secretary for 20 years, it was like, I think we should do like Tai Chi in here. And outside of work, he was like, I'm not doing that shit. But like at work, he was like, cool, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And he had like this competitor that was just like stealing his ideas and stuff. He wasn't even paying that dude no mind. I think he hired him too at the end or something. But he held like no ill will. He had his people's back all the time. And then because of that, people wanted to work for him. And he was cool, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
not like a fear thing, but it's just like
No, I
it's
think
just different.
inspiring somebody to want to work for you or work towards your goal, your vision. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're the director or if you're the director of photography or if you're the gaffer leading the lighting team, man, like that's powerful to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
But because that is so powerful, it like you said, it takes the perfect type of finesse
Yep. It does. This and then
and
too,
and caring.
yeah, and Karen. And then yeah, like you said with the DP, you got all this stuff you gotta do. You gotta worry about like the politics of the budget. You gotta appease the director and bringing their vision to life. And then you gotta deal with the producers, like how much time you got, how much time you got the AD, you gotta work with them like this. So and you got art. Basically, you're really like the head. I won't say of art because I feel like y'all like people, but like you're working with literally every single department for the most part. And I mean, if you gaffing, you know, you work with art too, but it's just like adjusting with the times and then knowing your DP, like you said, just have them flops ready. I'll just be like, if I see something, depending on who the DP is, I'll be like, yeah, let's just have them light masks on stands already because he likes to use light masks.
Mm-hmm.
You know those, that XC26 is gonna be outside. You know what I mean? And then too, you still gotta be cool with sound too. Like I feel like a lot of times, like we like to beef with sound or even like the grips. So like one thing I'm trying to implement, I'm gonna start with this show is at the end, I'm make sure my team they got a rap gift, and then the very next people who are arguably one of the most important people that you need to be cool with is transpo because they could be like, something wrong with this gate, man. You gonna have to push that shit up that hill if they don't like it. That could happen. You know what I mean? But if y'all cool, then they gonna be willing to do that favor for you. You know what I mean? They might be able to, instead of pushing all these carts down the street, they might be able to just go in front of, double park real quick. We
Mm-hmm.
get it off. You know what I mean? But try to get them something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just tell my people like, my style of gaffing is I try to stay ahead as much as I can. Um, Sometimes, we might have to do some double work. I'm gonna try to avoid that at all costs. Sometimes it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna be right here with the DP. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna constantly tell them, you guys are doing great, good hustle. If they trying to blame us, fuck what they talking about, because I know y'all working. Um, and then we're gonna be straight. But getting ahead, you know what I mean? And if you got all this stuff going on as a DP, you're visibly upset. I'm gonna just keep my distance a little bit, chill a little bit, because I like to joke around. But I only joke around after I'm done.
Yeah.
So, I'll chill a little bit. And then once everything is smooth, I'll be like, yo, what you think we're doing outside? How can I get ready for that now? But then, as that show progresses, oh, cool, it's nighttime. So we know he's using the vortexes. Might as well just have him out there on stands. Had that power ran already. We straight. So I want him to be like, yeah, man. So can we get well, you talk about the vortexes? Those are already up, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's the goal. Then that's
Yeah.
one last thing you got to worry about.
Yeah.
So that's the goal
Yeah.
as a
Nah,
gaffer,
for
I think.
sure. That's and that just comes from being that friend and knowing that DP, knowing their style, knowing what they like, because
Yeah.
everyone is a little bit different. There's
Mm-hmm.
no correct or incorrect formula for how to light something.
Exactly. So, and then I got little tricks and stuff that I learned from other gaffers that I like to implement. So, some stuff I know is for sure going to work. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we got this scene Monday. I'm sitting there thinking it's Sunday right now. We got a scene in Sunday in this courthouse, and we can't. It's on like the second floor, but they got like this little roof. Like you can. It seems like you can just go right outside, but there's no door. So you
Mm,
have to go to the third floor, go down a ladder.
mm.
That's dangerous, so we're not doing that. But I was like, something I learned from this guy. His name is Murph. I don't know if you ever work with Murph. Murph is one of the goats. Dude's a beast. But we was working on something where I was day playing, and um he had like the light bridge, the 25 centimeter one, like right above the window, and then he had a what is that? What was that light? Was it a Q5? Is there such thing as a Q3? I think so. The
Uh,
Felix.
I'm not sure.
It was like something
I do know the
five. It
Q5.
wasn't a
Yeah.
10. I think it was a 5, but they put that on a Sky Beaver. So like if they needed like a hard light to come through the window because they can't get out there,
Mm-hmm.
all I did was, and then he's using blackout too. That's one of the reasons why I used blackout him and then Wendell. But like, yeah, like he'd turn that joint on, and all they gotta do is just move that mirror, bro,
Yeah.
and it looks dope. And then like behind it, he had like, what was it, like a 2x4 strip of muzz, so that you still get that bounce too. So you
Mm-hmm.
had that, and you had like the hard light.
That's
It
nice.
was it was dope, bro. And I was like, yo, I'm about to steal that, bro.
Yeah.
But just like, little stuff like that I pick up from other gaffers, you know, either be some technical stuff or some leadership skills. Like
Yeah.
I work with another dude, his name is Chase. I was bored out. I was working with Sam too. Sam was a third on that. I was bored out on this movie called Traction Park Massacre. One thing I learned from him, I'd be messing up a couple times, I ain't gonna lie. But I would mess up. But the thing is, when I mess up, he'll be like, how much time you need on that? I'm like, let me get like 5. He was like, all right, cool. He'll go to DP. He was like, yeah, give him about 10 minutes. But then when I mess up, he'll just be like, yeah, it was just something slipped or whatever. We're going to fix it. But then, like, he's still dependent on me to fix it. But still, I was like, that's dope. So that's one of the things that I implemented, it, of course, into my gaffing as well. It's
Yeah.
like,
Buy your team some grace.
yeah, give him some grace. You know what I'm saying? Something happened. Oh, that's my bad. You know what I mean? That's it. No harm, no foul. I thought it was dope. But then at the same time, even though he does data too, there's a scene, man. I could send that to you too. I don't know if you want to have it on here.
Sure.
Maybe it could be just some quick shit, but it's in the trailer. But we had like those same string lights that we had in the Eminem joint, but we had like 3 zones. So imagine you got string lights on both sides, like this dirt path or whatever. But they wanted to turn on the first zone to turn on, It didn't stay on. And then the second one turns on, stay on. Third zone, turn on, stay on. And then the 1200D pops on. All this at the same time. We had 9 movers going crazy in a figure eight. And then we had like a couple vortexes for like moonlight or whatever. But that was a whole nother scene. But they wanted to be able to feel that where they were or whatever. So he was just like he helped a lot with that. Like, cause I had to learn this program called CAMSYS, which is, you put it on your PC. I can't remember how many universes they give you. It's a lot for free. But I had to take like some of the movers home, and I had to get a node. Um, I had to use a separate thing because you can use movers on Blackout, but it's not. At least then, it wasn't good. So I was like, cool. I'll just have 2 different setups. So I felt like I had it, but then he was asking me to do some stuff that I felt like I couldn't do. But then I was like, all right. But he was just like his encouragement, like, nah, you got this shit, bro. It's nothing. And then figured it out, and I was cool. But it was just like, that, you got your boss right there, and you in a stressful situation, and he or she, they can recognize that it's stressful. It's like, nah, you got this shit. So that's what I do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it might be a stressful thing. And then, my key grip, he might be like, oh man, we got to do this. I'm like, nah, you straight, bro. I'll buy you some time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's, important. But just to take from other people that you work with um, is extremely important, I think. But that whole little sequence, that was hard to do, bro.
Yeah.
That was really hard to do.
Yeah. No, I think, man, as long as you're trying to always find something to take from the situation, from the person, you're gonna keep growing.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep moving forward, and nobody ever grew in a place of comfort.
Right.
So, like you were talking about being nervous about going to Detroit
Oh,
and having to
yeah.
be the only one to go up there and fulfill the role of being the gaffer on set to operate Blackout.
Mm-hmm.
Those nerves. I I, I read somewhere. I don't want to get it completely wrong, but I read somewhere that anytime you're excelling at something and growing at what you're doing, you're only gonna feel a sense of gratitude if you're doing it right about a third of the time.
Mm.
And so I think we like to believe that if we're doing the right thing, that if we're on the right path, that if we're steadfast on this journey, that it always feels good.
Right.
And the truth is, it doesn't. And it's not supposed to, because if it did always feel good, you wouldn't be growing.
Facts.
So, you know, I try to take it with a grain of salt when I have moments of either self doubt
Yeah.
or some other form of you know whether it be nature, whether it be the budget, the producers, the crew, the personalities, the creative, the client. It's always going to be something on a project. You know what I mean? And I try to, of course, this is in theory. I try to
Yeah.
lean into whatever that is and figure out where I can grow with that.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, if you're working with somebody and it sucks working with them, it's gonna suck. But what can you take from it?
Yeah.
You
Good
know what I
point.
mean? There's still something in that for you.
There is. Yeah. Good point.
So I just you talking about feeling uncomfortable. I just wanted to share that I read because that um that made me feel better.
That's dope.
To know that it's or to be reminded, because it made sense the moment I read it,
Mm-hmm.
that you can't grow in a space of comfort.
Right.
So if you're on the right journey, it's gonna feel rough.
Yeah. It is. And I always just imagine that Kobe's right here. And it's like, man, you're soft, bro.
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, all right, cool, it's time to turn up. Because at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your mind like, I don't think you can do this shit. Just the negative parts,
Mm-hmm.
which you still need that because the negative part, you know, they do look out for you. But like, it's just too much. That's all it is. You
Mm-hmm.
need that positive. That's like, nah, you got this shit, bro. You've
Yeah,
done this
no,
a million times.
you gotta balance that intuition.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is, you know. So if you're not nervous when you walk on set, if well, something that's bigger than what you've been doing, something ain't right.
That part.
Yeah,
That part.
because you got like shoot. Because when I first did the show I'm on now, I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, it's a union show, so I've never actually. Well, I guess technically, because I was gonna say I've never gaffed a union show before, but that episode was union, so I gaffed that. But this is a whole show.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to mess up. But then it's like, really, you know, what's the difference? You know what I mean? I've already worked with the DP before. I work with most of the people on set. This is really, even if you are nervous, you know, only I know I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm still got that poker face.
Yeah, you're gonna find your confidence.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
you're gonna reach down inside and you're gonna find the confidence that you need to get the job done. But the initial feelings don't disqualify you from being adequate.
Yeah,
You know,
that's real.
I think even Beyonce still gets butterflies before she goes out on stage, and I don't
Exactly.
think many people are gonna argue about whether or not she's one of the top performers in the world.
That's a good point. Yeah, she probably don't think she is. Well, maybe she does. I don't know. But yeah, facts.
And there's something to be said there, because I know what you're saying when you say that.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably very hard on herself
Yeah.
as far as how she critiques her own growth. But then she digs down and she has to find that confidence to remind herself of
I am Beyonce.
everything she's done and that she is Beyonce. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Gotta
I think
do it.
that applies to everybody, or it can apply to everybody if you decide that that's how you're going to live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. Appreciate you, bro, man. I knew it was
Appreciate
going to be a
you.
good conversation. Film things
Yes.
all aside.
I was worried I wasn't gonna be.
No, man, no. We got to get up again soon, man. It's
Sure.
been a blessing to me. I appreciate the conversation. I hope my audience appreciates your time, you sharing your experiences with us. I can't wait to cut this up and share this with the world. I'm sure there's tons of little snippets in here aside from the message as a whole.
Sweet. Yeah.
So I hope this finds who it's meant for. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us here today in my living room, in my space. We will be coming back to you soon with another episode of the But For Now, that has been Quinton Thomas, my good friend. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.